Alright guys, welcome to part 2 of movie recommendations that are either rare or obscure or underrated. And this is just my personal list, so if you haven't seen part 1, definitely check it out. There goes a firework. Already starting 4th of July. So yeah, this is another brand new video for you guys. I'm going to mention some more films that I feel that no one ever really talks about. So let's get started with part 2 here. Hope you guys enjoy. First one here stars Nicole Kidman, and I remember seeing this movie in the theater. I was really interested in the trailer when I saw it, and I was blown away how creepy this film was. And it was very simple. It was just a very simple film that had a pretty good plot twist because I didn't see it coming at all. I was expecting something different. And it is The Others. Now, Nicole Kidman was absolutely phenomenal in this movie. She was spot on with everything. She was a force to be reckoned with, man. But you know, I don't remember when this takes place. Actually, it takes place during the war, but I don't remember like what the year was. But anyway, it's Nicole Kidman and her kids, boy and girl. They're living in this old house, but it's like a huge mansion almost. And there's a ghost in the house, and things start happening like you know, the curtains open, the doors are open, someone starts playing the piano, and there's footsteps upstairs running around. You know, you can hear like a kid whispering, and like the kids start to get scared and stuff like that. Really kind of creepy, but the atmosphere and the cinematography in this movie, I think that's what really works for it. And then, like I said, like the time period is really what works as well. That's one of the reasons why I like that movie, The Witch, because it was set back in, like, I believe it was like the 1600s or something like that. Like, when you have the right time period, it really works. So this is one that I definitely recommend if you guys haven't seen, is The Others. Now here's one that I pretty much guarantee you've never heard of, and I know I recommended this to my buddy Thomas, HorrorFan34, and he loved it. So again, if you can get your hands on this, pretty rare, pretty obscure. It stars Vincent Gallo, and it is Stranded. Now this is a sci-fi, kind of like a sci-fi thriller, where these astronauts get stranded on Mars, okay? They get stranded on Mars, and they have to ration their air, their food, and everything else. And they try to understand that if they can't survive on the ship, they're going to try to go out on the surface of Mars and try to see if they can find something useful or some way to contact somebody or, you know, discover something. And when they try, they always like run out of air, or they have to go back. It says 150 million miles from hope. This movie is excellent. It is excellent. It's one of those low budget films, but as you can see right there, there's these like alien creatures. The effects are so good. They're so practical and good. The acting's good. Yeah, the fact that they have to ration everything, it has the survival aspect in it. And it's not to be confused with the movie called Stranded with, I believe it's Christian Slater. I think Christian Slater's, it's like 2001. I think this came out, I think this was 2001 as well. But there was another one, or maybe it was 2003. I don't know. There was one that came out in 2001 with Christian Slater called Stranded. Not that one. This is different. This one's awesome. It's got a excellent third act. The ending to this movie is so cool. It is so cool. It just hit me. I loved it. If you can get your hands on this one, this is definitely a recommendation. Like I said, I've recommended it to my buddy Thomas, and he loved it. So definitely look into this if you're interested. Now here's a film by a very vulgar director Larry Clark. And I remember renting this at Family Video back in the day, and it really opened my eyes. It really did. It even says this on the cover. It says, "A wake-up call to the world," according to the New York Times. It's a critically acclaimed film, and it's for mature audiences. And there are some, I mean, there are some realistic things that happen in this film, and it is kids. Now, I know a lot of people have probably heard of this film. It is very, like I said, it's very vulgar. It's very kind of like eye-opening in a way, because it has to do with drugs, it has to do with alcohol, it has to do with HIV and sex, and just it's kind of educational, but in a like I said, in a vulgar way. It's kind of educational because it talks about, you know, what's her name, Chloe Sevigny. I guess I never can get her name right. This was her first, I believe this was her first role. I know it was Rosario Dawson's first role, but Justin Pierce, who I believe is not around anymore. I don't know if he committed suicide or not. Leo Fitzpatrick, who I think is still acting today. But basically, these group of kids who just do whatever they want. You know, they steal from stores, they do drugs, they buy drugs in the park, and they, you know, make their own blunt and stuff like that. You got Leo Fitzpatrick's character who has sex with virgins. Like right in the beginning, it starts with a sex scene where he's having sex with like a 14-year-old or something like that. And he just dreams about having sex with virgins. And then you got the girls like Rosario Dawson talking about how they lost their virginity, and you have to practice safe sex and things like that, and use condoms, and they go to the doctor to get tested for HIV and blood tests and stuff like that. And, you know, there's so much information in this movie that we already know this stuff, but it's like it throws it in your face in this movie. It throws in your face on all the bad things that can happen if you don't pay attention or don't you know, practice safe sex or do that. It really throws it in your face, but I love it. I think it was so. There's a movie that's kind of like this that just came out not too long ago called Mid-90s. I believe Jonah Hill did that one. It reminds me of modern day kids, but I think this film did it better. This film was balls to the wall. You know, it didn't hold back at all. There's even a rape scene that, you know, Chloe Sevigny gets totally naked, and like it just looks so real. It looks so real. But I don't know. This is a very good movie. I definitely recommend it. Now this is hands down probably my favorite Ashton Kutcher film. I'm not the biggest fan of the guy. I mean, I think he's funny, but this is a film that I can watch over and over, and I just think he did such a good job in this one. You have Eric Stoltz in this. You have Amy Smart. And it is The Butterfly Effect. This one, this is a great movie, man. Like, basically, you have Ashton who, you know, as a kid, he has like disturbing memories from his childhood. And he's able to travel back in time by looking at his thoughts that are written down in this notebook. So he writes in this journal, like in this notebook, and he can look at like what he wrote during a certain time, and all of a sudden he transports back to that time. And then he gets to live, and he basically is altering his future. He can make his future what he wants. He transforms his life and then those around him. But then as he does that, things start to go wrong, and so many bad things and weird things that he didn't expect would happen. Like there are a couple of times where he'll go back and so it'll be good, but then a certain character, something will be bad for a certain character, and then he'll be like, oh man, like this is not right. Like I'm gonna have to fix this. How am I gonna fix this? So then he tries to fix it, and then something else happens. You know, it's like you can't make anything perfect. that's what I love about this movie. Like, so many different things happen. He did a good job in this. I mean, I really felt for him in this movie. One of his serious performances, other than the movie The Guardian with Kevin Costner, I thought Ashton did a good job there. But this is definitely one of my favorites from him. Here's an underrated comedy with Woody Harrelson and Kiefer Sutherland. It also has Ernie Hudson in it. And it's a movie that my parents showed me back in the day. I think it's, I don't remember, I think it was later 90s, or maybe early 94. So it was 1994, and it is The Cowboy Way. Now, I'm a huge fan of Woody Harrelson. I think the guy is hilarious. I just love his acting. Basically, you have two cowboys who set off on an adventure to New York City to save their friend, who has gone there to pay these, they're not really a drug cartel, but it's like, these people in New York smuggle people in from other countries in to the United States for a fee. And so this guy's going to New York to pay for the fee for his daughter to come into the country. Something happens to this guy, and so these two, who are friends of his, they go to save him and find out what's been going on. So they have to fight against like crime bosses and things like that. And there's like good camaraderie. I like the chemistry between these two. And you know, they're a bunch of cowboys in the big city, so like they're not used to like the big buildings, and you know, they have the cowboy banter. You know, it shows them they're riding horses and like a very, very underrated comedy. There's a lot of funny stuff that happens. So definitely one to check out if you are interested in that kind of thing. Now here's one that I've mentioned before, especially when I bought it, by Dimension Extreme. And it's from the producer of The Terminator and Aliens. It's a modern day take on Cannibal Holocaust. And I don't remember when this came out. It was like 2007. I don't really know any of the people who were cast for this movie. But it's very, very graphic, and it's very, very entertaining. And Cannibal Holocaust is entertaining to me too, minus the animal deaths. I love that movie. I think Cannibal Holocaust, it just redefines horror as far as like being realistic with practical effects. That's why I think that movie was so, people thought it was real, because the practical effects were so good that they got in trouble for it. People nowadays can take notes from Cannibal Holocaust. Cannibal Holocaust did it the best when it comes to practical effects. But this is the story about Michael Rockefeller in 1961. He was the son of the most powerful man in the world. He got lost during an expedition in New Guinea, and so these young couple, I believe there's like two young couples, they go out to like the remote jungle there and try to find out if they can see what happened to him, if they can find out any information. They're shooting like a video, you know, like footage they're on an expedition, but they're shooting kind of like a video. And so they run into chaos and like cannibals and all that kind of, it reminds me of Cannibal Holocaust. There's actually a scene here where they do the pull through the mouth thing. There's like a scene that is totally Cannibal Holocaust. It's called Welcome to the Jungle. I probably should have showed this first, but it's an independent film, and I remember Family Video had this on the shelf, and they only had one copy. But Dimension did this, but it's Dimension Extreme. It's very, very, it's awesome. It takes you on a ride, and yeah, it's one of the better modern day cannibal films for sure. So if you can get your hands on this one, definitely check it out. Here's one with Hilary Swank and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And of course, Jeffrey Dean Morgan became popular when he was in The Walking Dead, but I don't know, I liked him in some movies before that. I mean, he was in The Possession which I liked, and this movie called The Resident. Hilary Swank is beautiful. I think she's gorgeous. She's a very one of the prettiest women. And this movie, she plays this doctor who gets an apartment for cheap, and it's run by Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character. He owns the building, and so he gives her this apartment for a cheap price because he's kind of infatuated with her, and this guy's a pervert. He goes behind the walls and he has peepholes. He's a peeping Tom. He like peeps in at her when she's taking a bath, and I mean, I'm not a peeping Tom, but I can't blame him. I mean, she's gorgeous. It's just I'm not, but like I said, I would never do that. But it's just like he just got so infatuated with her. It was just, I don't know. But you also have Christopher Lee in this movie, who he kind of had a useless role in this movie. He plays the father of Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He doesn't do much. He doesn't even say much. But anyway, The Resident, I think it's kind of underrated. I do like it. I remember ranting on that film back in like 2014 or something like that, but I've grown to actually like it because it's a story. It's not like some of those Lifetime movies where someone's obsessed with somebody. It goes beyond that. I don't know, I just like the actors in it. Now here is a independent horror film by MVD Visual released this, and it has Linda Bella in this and Michael Madsen. And I don't remember where I heard this from, but I thought this movie was actually pretty good, and it's Devil's Domain. I believe Sean C. Phillips, like Cool Duder, was in this movie, but I believe he was miscast. I don't think he plays a bully in this film, and I'm just like, I don't buy that. Like Sean C. Phillips as a bully, like, you got to pick something that's that you can relate to, like to act like, and I just didn't buy it at all. But anyway, whatever. But basically, you got this teenager who's like she's like a troubled social media teenager, where her parents don't listen to her. So she's in this video that goes viral. There's these people picking on her and stuff like that, and she meets a mysterious stranger who is known as the devil, and they strike a deal. And this deal is, the devil's going to get rid of her bullies and give this girl fame and fortune. Basically, this girl was down here, and now she's going to rise up because of the help of this lady. And it's kind of like your typical devil situation or whatever. Like, you make a deal with the devil, whatever. I liked it. I think the gore effects were really good in this. Practical effects. That's one thing I can majorly say about this. That was very, very good. The last one here I'm going to mention really fast is Kevin Bacon in Stir of Echoes. Very underrated, creepy movie. I love Kevin Bacon. Great actor. Kevin Bacon and his family lives in this apartment. His sister-in-law hypnotizes him and opens a door where, after he's hypnotized, all of a sudden, like, he sees things and he can hear things, and like, there's this ghost in the apartment who's trying to tell him something to like dig and like stuff like that, and like his son starts seeing things too, and he just starts doing weird things after his sister-in-law hypnotizes him. Very, very creepy film. I don't know, like, the music in this is very good too. This is definitely an underrated horror film, and when people talk about creepy movies, this one never gets brought up, and I don't know why. This damn creepy, man. There's some creepy imagery. Very, very good. Definitely one of this would probably be in my top 10 favorite Kevin Bacon films. So if you haven't seen Stir of Echoes, I think there's like a sequel too, but I don't think that had anything to do with the first movie. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. I might have like another updated version of this, later on if I think of some more. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. What do you guys think of some of the titles that I listed? let me know in the comments, and stay tuned for more videos. See you guys next time.